Excelsior. So today we're going to read Marvel 2-in-1 number 1. So this was published in January of 1974. Marvel Comics Group, Marvel 2-in-1 presents The Thing and The Man-Thing, Monster vs. Monster, while a world trembles. Stan Lee presents The Thing and Man-Thing together. Steve Gerber, writer. Gil Kane, penciler. Joe Sinnott, inker. Gene Izzo, letterer. G. Russos, colorist. Roy Thomas, editor.
Ah, nuts! This is it, world. The last try, you hear?
And it says Florida swamp creature revealed. Times Man-Thing.
Like it ain't bad enough just being the Thing. These bug-eyed mudballs gotta come along and rip off my name. Well, you're not getting away with it, slime puss. I've been the one and only Thing for too long. And I let a hunk of muck steal my thunder. Stop, please. You're wrecking my store. What did I say? What did I do to offend you?
Vengeance of the Molecule Man.
You didn't do nothing. It's this magazine you sold me. Of all the filthy... You mean it's unwholesome? But that can't be. I don't allow such... Nah, it ain't porno. It's plagiarism. This clown stole my moniker. Look, Bob, cancel my trip to New York and put me on a bus for Florida. I'm gonna have it out with that swamp rat in person. Yes, of course. But the fare to Florida is, slightly higher? Can't be higher than the Baxter Building, Pops. And anybody there will vouch for bashful Benjamin Grimm. That makes my credit good, don't it? Yes, sir. I didn't mean that. In fact, I didn't mean anything. I was just making small talk. The, bus should be here any moment, sir. You'd best wait outside? It only stops for a second or two. Yeah, I can see why. This town ain't my idea of a tourist spot either. Devil's Tongue, New Mexico. 4 two-story buildings and a gas pump in the middle of the desert. Some town. Sheesh.
In less than a minute, the bus had come and gone, taking with it the somewhat petulant Ben Grimm. I've been a good man, a religious man. I've done an honest business here for 41 years. So, why me, Lord? Why did you send him to me? If it's any comfort, shopkeeper, know ye that the Thing is asking himself almost that same question. And it says the macabre Man-Thing, now in his own mag.
It's a day and a half ride to the Everglades, so I may as well relax and enjoy the view. Nothing like an endless horizons, a godforsaken wilderness to cheer a guy up. Sure, you bet. Cripes! I'm beginning to feel like a blind prairie dog. I ain't seen nothing for days but sand and cactus, except for a few crummy heroes and villains. First, I get kidnapped by the leader and Kurgo, teleported to the desert, just so's I can wrestle with the Hulk as a part of their nutty cosmic wager.
See Marvel feature number 11, Roy Thomas.
And when it was over, there was nothing to do but walk home, which is how I met up with Iron Man, and we battled the Blood Brothers together.
In Marvel feature number 12, Roy.
And now this. I clobber my way back to civilization and find some meatball trying to hog my glory. Maybe I'm being oversensitive, but when you look like me, a little glory is all you got on Earth, and it hurts to see it slip away.
On that unusually somber tone, let us move to a different setting. Indeed, to a different planet. A nameless world in a cosmos other than our own. We have come to witness the death of a former Earthman, once the most powerful man of all.
The Molecule Man. And that, my son, is why I am old and dying, while my foes are yet young and strong.
Because we live in a different space-time continuum from Earth, and time moves faster here?
Yes, the Watcher planned it that way when he exiled me from Earth. He knew that one day I would find a way to regain my power, to become master of all molecules once more. But he also knew that it would take decades, that trapped here, I would be dead before I could return to Earth. And he was correct. I shall never have my vengeance on the accursed Fantastic Four, who discovered my lone weakness, and used that discovery to beat me, deliver me into the Watcher's hands. But you, my son, you can go to Earth. You can avenge me.
You have my word, Father. I will not rest until your enemies are dead. It says on the bottom, the Black Widow, Captain Marvel, and Daredevil makes 3. He should have been a king, the monarch of the universe, and he dies instead in exile, a man without a world. But the tale must not end here. The Fantastic Four must also die, even more ignobly. Solemnly, the son departs the house of the father and begins a fateful trek. All his life, as far back as I can remember, father sought a means to duplicate the atomic accident that made him the Molecule Man, and to eliminate his one fatal weakness, his inability to affect living molecules. Soon, he has left behind the strange village of metallic huts and scaled the blood-red peaks that surround it. He found the answer too late. His illness had so enfeebled him. He makes his way to a mammoth complex of nuclear engines, the product of a lifetime of vengeful research. He could not have survived that ion bombardment treatment we devised, but I can, and I shall, now! Methodically, he goes about setting the apparatus in motion. Zzz. And when its energy levels have reached their zenith, the sun is bathed in a shower of atomic particles. The shower becomes a hail, molding him, changing him, reweaving the very fabric of his being in a frightful new pattern. And when, at last, the fire and thunder cease, and he emerges,
"It is done. The molecule man lives once more. I can feel it. Nothing about me is as it was. Even my simple robes have been transformed to a far more fearsome manner of garb. And now I need only the wand, the instrument through which I unleash my power. Hear me, universe! Hear the words of him who shall be your sovereign! As of this moment, I do vow to end without mercy the lives of the Fantastic Four, the Thing, Human Torch, Invisible Girl, Mr. Fantastic. One by one, you will fall before my onslaught, as tribute to my father, and as proof that the Molecule Man rules the cosmos."
and with those ominous words, he vanishes. It is a week by his reckoning, more than a day by ours, before he appears anywhere again. But when he does rematerialize, it happens here, in the fetid swampland called the Everglades.
Something is wrong. I should have arrived in this planet's largest city, New York. It's there the Four are headquartered. So why am I here? I altered my own molecules, made them living magnets that would be drawn to the Thing's cosmic ray transmuted form. Yet the brute is not here. Have my powers failed me? No! There must surely be some other explanation for this.
And so, in search of that answer, the new Molecule Man probes deeper into the dense fen foliage, unaware that his next upward glance will put him nose to nose with the macabre Man-Thing.
No!
The sight of the slime dweller paralyzes the Outworlder with shock. For a moment, he forgets his incredible abilities, leaps back instinctively, drops his wand, and the result is more than mildly interesting.
My hands, my face, they're withering. Must be the space-time differential between my world and this one. I'm aging, growing ancient in mere seconds. I'll die. I'll turn to dust. Unless the wand, that's the key. Yes, yes. I can use it to reverse the process. My hand, firm, strong, young again. I see now. My body is still adjusted to my homeworld's time rate, and the treatment has made me even more susceptible to the time-space factor. I must keep a constant flow of power from the wand coursing through me, lest I be reduced to ashes. His terror now abated,
the molecule man turns his gaze back to the monstrous man-thing who has stood watching this drama of life and death in silent uncomprehension, for he lacks the ability to think, to reason, even to speak. He can only feel, and even then, not his own emotions, but those of the beings around him. He is one of nature's cruelest jests, a spawn of chemistry and sorcery gone mad, and peering into his hazy, crimson eyes, the man with the wand understands that, and disdainfully dismisses him.
Bah! This brute possesses only the merest rudiments of intellect. He cannot be the one I seek.
Thus, the molecule man presses onward, forgetting, or perhaps not caring, that even the most mindless of beasts can grow curious. While, a short distance away, the wand-wielder's ever-loving blue-eyed victim-to-be races down swamp-spanning highway.
You heard me, chum! Stop this dog and let me off of here!
Sorry, the next stop isn't for 40 miles, and regulations state...
Hang your blasted regulations! I say I want off! Now, do I have to lean on you? Or can we cooperate?
Rules were made to be broken, I always say.
Putting his newly acquired philosophy into practice, the driver bows to the wishes of his orange-skinned passenger, then hurries on his greatly relieved way.
Okay, Melvin. I know you're down there. Hope you won't object to company coming. 'Cause bashful Benji's dropping in. It ain't gonna be the most graceful entrance I ever made. But here goes. Geronimo! Yeah, mud. This place is nothing but wall-to-wall goo. Kinda makes you wonder if just maybe there ain't other surprises in store.
Oh, there are, and two of them now grope tendril-like from out of the tangle, to greet you.
Huh? I'm being attacked by blasted man-eating vines.
No thing. It's not the vines who've seized you. It's I, the son of the molecule man.
Yeah, I knew the face was familiar. But why? No, let me guess. Revenge, I bet. Gee, 5 years and you still hold a grudge. Like father, like son. Huh? Stupid? I could club you from here to... Ow! Fool, you can't touch me. Not when I create a shield from the molecules of the air.
Despite all the sundry human faculties he lacks, the Mult Monster does possess certain talents which men do not. Among them, the ability to recognize evil, even in its most subtle guises. Thus, he slogs out of hiding and snares the evil.
Holy Hannah! It's him! And he's helping me! Stop! I warn you, Ogre. I have the power to destroy you!
But the man-thing pays no heed, because the villain's words are but meaningless noises to a mind as shattered as his.
He didn't even react. I'll be killed, crushed against those support beams. Unless I use the wand to alter the molecular structure of the concrete. Change it into a foamy, cushiony substance, like so. Now, it can absorb my impact and send me bouncing harmlessly back to the water. But though I have escaped unscathed, you will not be so lucky, gargoyles. Neither of you. Do you hear? I could slay you now, in as little time as it takes to make the threat. But it occurs to me there are more ways to kill a man than physically. I am going to make you human again, rob you of your tremendous strength, so you'll be naught but impotent observers, while I complete my mission. Zzz, the killing of the Fantastic Four! For crying out loud, he did it! I'm Ben Grimm again! For real! But... good Lord, where am I? There was the auto crash. That weird, surreal world.
Monsters Unleashed number 3 and Fear number 13, respectively. Roy.
And now this! Have I gone mad? Why are you? And what am I doing here? And what's that? Do I see a man disappear in that flash? More'n a man, mister. A menace to the whole world.
In near whispers, Ben tells the incredible tale to a stunned Ted Sallis, the chemist who had been the Man-Thing.
I know how loony it sounds, but it's true. You was even uglier than me.
It does sound ridiculous and terrifying, but it explains a great deal. Like the gaps I feel in my life. The Man-Thing, as you call him, or me, must have been utterly mindless. I can't recall any of the time I spent in that form. Hey, why are you brooding? If what you say is true, we should be rejoicing. We're free. Both of us. The nightmare is over.
I ain't getting through to you, am I, Sallis? We both gotta go back to being blasted freaks, or the rest of the FF's gonna die.
And meanwhile, back at the Molecule Man.
Blast it. The wand seems to have malfunctioned. No matter how much energy I channel through it, thop, thop, it won't teleport me past the edge of this swamp. That last flash should have placed me in the center of New York. It seems to function perfectly in all other respects, so I'll not give up my attempt at revenge just yet. I'll walk to New York, if need be.
Note, the malfunction is not in the wand, but in the swamp. For here, at the nexus of mystic forces, the laws of science oft go awry, as in the accident that birthed the Man-Thing himself. S.G. A curious sight. Two men who once walked like monsters, striding shoulder to shoulder, as friends. I was working on a secret government project in seclusion here in the Glades. Anyway, if we can locate my old lab, and if it's still intact, I might just be able to find some chemicals meant to defeat this guy and save ourselves.
Better living for us through chemistry, huh? You really figure there's hope.
There's always hope, Ben. Without it, there's nothing to live for. I'll try my best, I swear. Of course, I'm not the genius Reed Richards is.
Maybe not, but you yak almost as much. Sheesh. Come on, let's find that pad of yours.
They prowl the swampland until the cold gray light of dawn, but they do not succeed in their quest for the lab. Instead,
nuts! A city, but no lab.
It is the tiny town of Citrusville, Florida, which Ted Sallis has visited numerous times in his other, more macabre existence. But there may be facilities here we can utilize. We can't give up now. I meant what I said about hope, Ben.
Sallis, do me a favor, huh? Shut your blasted trap already. I like you too much to want to feel I gotta knock your teeth out to keep my sanity.
But let us not forget that hope, like a town, hath two sides. At last, I've left that watery wasteland far behind me. But there remains the question of my wand's partial failure. Why did it occur? And more importantly, has it corrected itself? Here and now, I must know. An instant later, the town becomes a tableau of molecular madness as the master of matter hurtles through it on the crest of an asphalt wave.
Yes, yes, it obeys me once more. The molecule man is again supreme. Everything that exists is made of molecules, and every molecule is subject to my will. I am all.
Minutes later, the inevitable confrontation.
Good Lord! The entire street is shaking toward us, or snaking toward us, as if it was alive. And some maniac is on top, riding it. Ben, is that... I had no idea he could do this. It's beyond anything. Bah! This is but an exercise, a kind of sport. I wield the power to reshape the very cosmos. Let me demonstrate further a preview of the agony that awaits the X-Thing's partners. Watch, Ben Grimm. We'll begin with this nobody. And make him over into the image of your closest friend. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, leader of the Fantastic Four. The man who wrecked my father's life.
No, please, let me be. I ain't done nothing to hurt you, mister.
Richard's body is like an elastic band. Isn't it, Grimm? It stretches. But also like elastic, it has its limits, beyond which there lies only pain and torment. And, of course, finally, death, the one state of matter even I cannot alter. You see?
He does indeed see, as the sight fills him with revulsion and hatred and a passion to make this demon die.
You just killed an innocent Joe. For nothing. Except to feed your ego. What kind of scum are you? I do not like you this way. In your human form, there is a quality of nobility about you that troubles me. I prefer you as the orange-skinned buffoon. Fella, you just made the mistake of your life. 'Cause for what you done, I'm gonna tear you apart with my, chains and slabs of rock holding me back. Suppose you made 'em out of air molecules. Chuckles? Well, for all the good they'll do you, they might as well still be in the air. I'm coming for you, Carly, and there ain't nothing that's gonna stop me.
Well, I'm going to try. Think, Ben. He's only toying with you. He can't be beaten by brute force. Can't you see that? He'll kill you, Ben. Listen to... No! Gentlemen, you've given me an inspiration.
The Wonder Wand crackles once more, its energies now directed at Ted Sallis. For a moment, his entire form quakes with the terrible pain of transmutation, and then the man is gone, and from where he lay, a man-thing rises. His broken mind recalls nothing of what has transpired here, except that this living rock pile hurt him, threw him to the ground, and the logical interference from that fact is clear even to him. This other thing must be his enemy.
Blast it! I don't want to do this, Manny, but nobody's gonna keep me away from that creep. Nobody. And no thing either. Not even you, Sal. Huh? My fist's going right through you. Cripes. You're not even flesh and blood. Just ooze. I ain't even sure you're alive exactly. You're just what you look like. A walking mound of sludge. No one ought to have to be like this. Ha! The pity of one monster at the plight of another. Have you any idea, Grimm, how comical it looks? Yeah, it's a real knee-slapper, ain't it? A guy meaning to goo. Ha 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 ha! Well, here's what I think of your sense of humor, flash face. Oh no! This wand! I can't lose the wand. My very life depends on it. With one witless, unrhymed toss, you may have doomed me, you fool. What do you mean, unaimed? I aimed all right, at your ugly kisser. I just missed, that's all. You laugh, you joke, you make mockery of me, even as my flesh grows brittle and withered, even as I waste away before you. Shucks, you'd have done the same for me. Think nothing of it. Besides, you don't want a monster's pity, don't you? I want the wand. I want to live. That's what help me, please. It mustn't end like this.
Inches away from his goal, life stops for the Molecule Man, And Ben Grimm watches, stunned, but with his eyes as cold as steel. Had the Thing been able to see just an iota of compassion for the Man-Thing in this would-be king, Ben might have saved him. But he was above compassion. Thus, he claims his father's heritage after all, the legacy of any man with too much power and too little feeling. Dust.
I must be nuts. I just let the one guy who could cure me turn to ashes. Unless, maybe. Come on, you crummy two-bit baton. Work! Change me back to my old handsome self. You gotta work. And not just for me, Stick. You gotta do a real job to do on my slimy pal. Come on! Work, blast it!
But
Nothing. Not even a lousy fizz.
without a sound, the Man-Thing turns, and in his ponderous, uneven gait begins his long trek back to the swamp that gives him life.
Take a good look, kid. There goes the only guy on Earth unluckier than me.
You mean that's a person?
Nah, not anymore. He's just another thing. Now, like somebody else I know. Here, you may as well have this crackerjack toy. It won't do me no good.
Wowee! Thanks, mister. Hey, Mom! Dad! Look! Look what the Brick Man gave me! Look it! I'm the king of the universe! Master of the world! Whee!
Next, Submariner. The ever-lovin' blue-eyed letters page. CO Marvel Comics Group, 575 Madison Avenue, New York, New York, 10022. Dear Marvel, the Hulk, the Thing, Len Wein, Jim Starlin, Joe Sinnott, wowee 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 wow. What more could a true blue, dyed-in-the-wool Marvelite ask? Marvel feature number 11 was one of the greatest achievements in the second Marvel Age of Comics. In case you didn't catch the drift of the above paragraph, I liked it. I liked it. And I'm begging you, please, please to continue in this vein with upcoming issues of the Thing Team-Up series. Continue to bring back the ancient villains like Kurgo, Master of Planet X, and continue the big, wild action sequences in which Ben can really show his stuff. We don't get enough of these in Fantastic Four, because there are 3 other characters who must share the limelight, so go for broke with them here. Also, try to keep some kind of continuity between the stories. It doesn't bother me at all that they don't or won't coincide perfectly with the FF issues. We can just assume these are in-between adventures, and what the in-between is precisely isn't of any real concern. Some suggestions for future team-ups: the Silver Surfer, Submariner, Hawkeye, the Vision, Captain Marvel, the Valkyrie, Daredevil, and maybe, just to be a little offbeat, your new Brother Voodoo or Son of Satan characters, or even Doctor Strange. I hope you'll strive for the really way-out team-ups. The more conventional ones are fun too, but I'd like to see how truly weird you could get with this series. Bruce Marshall, Lawrence, Kansas. Bruce, we can almost answer your jubilant epistle with a single word. Yes. Almost every suggestion you've offered, keeping the emphasis on action, bringing back old villains, keeping a thread of continuity running through the series, and even most of your proposed team-ups, has been or will be implemented as we continue our journey down the orange brick road of magazine life. And as for the more offbeat kind of co-stars you crave, well, the Macabre Man-Thing appeared last issue, and Steve Gerber, the series' new writer, is toying with some even stranger ones. And though we don't want to spill any beans just yet, believe it when we say strange. Dear Len, Jim, Joe, and Roy. Well written, well drawn, but contrived. That's the impression I got from Marvel feature number 11. The story would have rated an A+, if not for the all-too convenient means of getting the Thing and the Hulk face-to-face for their battle. As it is, I could only rate it an A-. Only. But that was my only serious objection to anything in the book. Len's writing of Ben's dialogue was really excellent. There was humor, pathos, and grit-toothed determination, just oozing from Benji's rock-like lips. Likewise, Len seemed to capture the Hulk's character with very few flaws. I hope Len, or future writers, will continue to let the Thing crack a few jokes now and then. It breaks up the monotony of all the super serious superheroes. The Starlin Sinnott artwork was beautiful to behold. Sinnott, of course, kept the Thing's looks consistent with his Fantastic Four appearances. And Starlin choreographed the fight scenes with incredible imagination and verve. It looked like it was all really happening. At any rate, despite its few failings, this issue is one of your best. If you can continue in this vein, we should be seeing a monthly Marvel feature in no time. It's sure to be a hit. Ira Bolterman, 455 Ocean Parkway, Brooklyn, New York, 11218. We hope so, Ira, and frankly, we think so. But if and when the mag does go monthly, it'll be Marvel 2-in-1, not Marvel Feature. That'll grace your newsstand every 30 days. Don't ask us why, 'cause honestly we don't know. But for some reason we were required to change the title and begin the numbering anew. Let's hear it for chaos, folks. Hip hip. In any event, Len, Jim, and Joe, thank you for your cognate comments and constructive criticism of MF number 11, and our new team of Steve Gerber and Gil Kane is anxiously awaiting the judgment of Marveldom, all together, on their first 2 collaborative efforts on the Thing strip. In other words, Marvelite, right. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Bolterman, we'll try to avoid those convenient modes of transport in the future. We can use all the A+ grades we can get. Dear Marvel, well, friends, this latest Hulk/Thing collision wasn't quite up to their first all-out battle in Fantastic Four number 25 to 26, but it was good. A different type of story, I guess, to be measured by a different yardstick. It wasn't intended to be a cosmos-shattering epic, just a story, and in that, it succeeded. I think, though, that it also points up the need for the occasional extending
of team-up stories, both here and in Marvel Team-Up, Spidey's book, beyond one issue. Surely Blue Eyes and Jade Jaws could stimulate enough reader interest to carry through to a second installment. I'd venture that there are quite a few other Thing and team-ups that would also warrant multi-part stories. Think about it. Another innovation I hope we'll see in Marvel Feature is some kind of continuing subplot. I realize that most of the Thing's character developments are rightfully the domain of the Fantastic Four mag. But still, something? My first and foremost suggestion for Benji's future co-stars is Luke Cage. I think they'd work together magnificently, and it would be interesting to see how Luke handles a man who really is his physical superior. What would happen to his machismo self-image? Other possibilities? The Silver Surfer, Ant-Man, Thor, the Black Panther, Doctor Strange, the Beast, Warlock, but handle it carefully, and your two gone but not forgotten female characters, the Cat and Shanna the She-Devil. I'm also curious as to what might happen if Dracula tried to bite the Thing. Howard J. Talkman, Cincinnati, Ohio. That's easy, Howard. He'd get a dentist bill you wouldn't believe. But seriously, you've raised a number of interesting questions on which we'd like to hear your fellow Marvelites' opinions. Should we have continued stories? Should we keep our cavorting co-stars around for more than one issue? Would you favor the idea of subplots, perhaps even new supporting characters, in Marvel 2-in-1? Let us know. And speaking of weird team-ups, which we were an answer or two ago, Ben and the Cat and Ben and Shauna are two of the wildest ideas we've heard yet, maybe. Next issue, though, the bashful one slugs it out with the savage Submariner. And if that ain't enough, you'll also witness the reappearance of the Way Out Wondar. And there's more, much more, even than that. So don't miss 2-in-1 number 2. Without bragging, it'll be a landmark. Assuming you paste your copy on the Statue of Liberty, that is. Marvel Bullpen Bulletins. Just Thomas and Lee, and the soapbox makes 3.
Stan Lee's Soapbox. Notice anything different about your latest Marvel mags? Notice more space devoted to the bullpen bulletins? How about larger letters pages, and the fact that we have fewer titles on sale than a few months ago? Verily, listen to the voice of Marveldom assembled, to the cry of far-flung Foomdom, all shouting why? And, since you asked, during this past year, as most of you have noticed, the spreading fame and growth of Marvel has been almost unbelievable. We've outsold every other comic book publisher in America and throughout the world. But the more titles we gave you, the more you kept demanding. And the more you asked for, the more we tried to give you. Until, just a short time ago, we realized we had to stop and catch our breath. For, in our never-ending effort to satisfy the greatest, most loyal legion of fans anyone ever had, we were in danger of sacrificing quality for quantity, and we're just not about to do that. We also suspected that we were making it kinda tough for those of you who were short of cash, and who isn't, to keep up with our profusion of proliferating titles.
Even though Marvel's majestic mags are vital necessities to every true believer, we wouldn't want you to give up such frivolous luxuries as food or housing in order to keep up with us. In other words, we decided to make it easier on your wallet, at the same time as we make it easier for us to polish and perfect every gleaming jewel in the Marvel crown of creativity. And that's the reason you won't have to beware the claws of the cat for a while, and Night Nurse has broken her appointment. Yep, we've reluctantly given vacations to a few of our secondary characters in order to devote more time and effort to our world-famous line of Sneedtalian superstars. So fret ye not, O seeker of the truth. All thy favorites are alive and well in Marvel-land, whilst our sensational 75-cent thrillers also still await thee at thy local vendor, and culture doth reign supreme. But take warning, we're gonna spend lots more time rapping with you from now on, both here and in our Littlin letters pages. You can expect to be bombarded with all kinds of messages, memos, and multifaceted madness from yours truly, from Rascally Roy, and from the rest of your blushin' bullpenners as we go zooming along to oblivion. Yeah, mark ye well these momentous words. We've only one objective, one ever constant goal, to jam as much fun and excitement as possible within these imperishable pages, and to share it all with you, Excelsior! Stan. Item, don't ask us. We'll tell you. The reason why our latest giant-sized 75-cent magazines, not to mention our crazy Neo title, have been switched to quarterly publication is in line with what Smiley was mentioning above. We want to keep up the quality of these mags while we're waiting to gouge the full, unfettered reaction of Marveldom assembled. That's why Savage Tales and Crazy are on sale this month instead of last, as originally planned. You'll find them both worth the wait, though, with a 37-page Conan classic illustrated by Barry Smith in the former, and the humor of Art Buchwald, Kelly Fraze, Bob Myron Moose Foster, et al. In the latter. But don't worry, those of you with money to burn, they'll both be on the bi-monthly schedules again, just as soon as we can get our heads on straight. Although, knowing us, that probably gives you plenty of time to start saving your pennies. Item. Meanwhile, one of the full-color comics we dropped from our schedule, but only for the next couple of months, is the very popular supernatural thrillers. We've decided to put all our eerie adaptations in our giant-size mags instead. As for the new feature which Supernatural Thrillers will contain when it returns a few short weeks from now, well, let's give it to you in the Spider-Man code. Lessux Yusu Mefix Defint. That's just gibberish. I think that just translates to something if you scramble around the words. Now, all you Foomers out there, and if you're not yet a member of Foom, there's a coupon on the right that'll end all your worries, can dig out your decoding kit, featured in the latest issue of Foom magazine, and you'll be way ahead of the game when it comes to knowing just what the batty bullpen is planning. Matter of fact, you'll even be ahead of Stan the Man himself, 'cause he left his decoder in his other superhero suit. Item: in just a short month or so, we'll be doing what you frantic ones have requested, namely, turning this page entirely over to the bullpen bulletins, with the kind of informal chit-chat and nifty news items you've always dug most. In the meantime, what say we drop the mighty Marvel checklist for this month only, and concentrate instead on a few personal tidbits about the bullpen that plays for fun. Like so. Marvel mini items. Congrats to Herb and Linda on the birth of their spanking new son and prospective future bullpenner, Alexander Spurlock Trimp. He's the only thing that comes between Happy Herbie and a Hulk deadline in the last umpteen years. Hey, if you dig the recent spectaculars by Jim Starlin on Captain Marvel and Master of Kung Fu as much as we do, then let's have a few kudos also for amiable Al Milgram, our latest inking discovery, who's been skillfully applying the pen and brush to those power-packed pencil strokes of Jim's. In answer to countless queries, yes, the Gladys Ween who does that sensational coloring and so many Marvel masterworks these days is indeed the lovely wife of one Len Wein. And so help us, if your next question is, so who's Len Wein? Know what? Rich Buckler tells us that his dream for well nigh a decade as a comic book fan was to get a chance, one day, to draw the fabulous Fantastic Four title. And he's made it at last. So let the lad know how you'd like what he's laying down, okay? Tell him Roy sent you. RT. The Ultimate Fan Club. E. Plubrius Marvel. Foom. Nuff said. Friends of old Marvel. Foom. You've been reading about it for months. Okay, so it's time for you to stop reading and join up already. Here's what you get for your 10 measly quarters. 1. A giant superhero poster, 22 by 28. You can't tell your costume cut-ups without a scoreboard. 2. Your own personal gold-finished membership card, the next best thing to an Avengers ID. 3. A fistful of sensational stick-ons. 4. A full year subscription to Foom Magazine, the official Marvel fan publication, including the key to the Spider-Man code. 5. Oh yeah, and the whole Magalia comes in a special surprise envelope you've got to see to believe. Only $2.50. Send check or money order to Foom Box 1827, New York City 10022, New York residence, and add sales tax. Name, address, city, state, zip. Please print clearly. Canadian and foreign orders add 25 cents for postage. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. And I'll see you guys later.